Jim, here we go on another trip. This is going to be pretty interesting if this rain would ever end. Down to Jekyll Island, which is a beautiful place in of itself, to see the Turtles Fly 2 situation, which will be really cool. I love the sea turtles; they're so beautiful, and I know you do too.
Oh, I love them. Yep.
And this will be really cool. This is going to be my second time having a connection with the sea turtles. The first time was many years ago with on a family vacation down to Harbor Island, and we got to witness babies, little turtles, I don't know what you would call them, hatching. Turtlets, yes, turtlets, going out into the water, and the turtle people were there, and they were directing everything, and it was really cool. And then late that evening, I was with my siblings, my older siblings. We were walking along the beach, and we were heading back, and my two older sisters just started screaming, and they freaked my brother Eric and I out. We're like, what the hell? What's going on? And it turned out they saw a female turtle coming on shore in the surf. So we called the turtle people over. They came and blocked things off, and we got to watch her go up and lay her eggs. It was amazing. It was one of the most beautiful trips I've ever been on, and it had been a stressful trip to that point because my mother was with us. We brought her down, and we had this great idea that we'd all have this little family get together, but she was suffering from dementia, and sadly, she was repeating the whole time, and it was very difficult to deal with that. But we had this little escape, and it was great. So it was fun. Did you and Jamie ever seen turtles?
I've had absolutely the opposite experience. I have sought so many times to watch a nest hatch, or to watch any turtle come in from the ocean. Jamie and I go to Pawleys Island every year in the middle of the summer, and they're always turtle nests, and we always know just where they are because they mark them, and they put these metal grates over them to preserve them from raccoons and things like that. And in the old days anyway, there would be a date when the nest was created, and you would just count 60 days and know that that's probably about when the nest is going to hatch. And so we had a pretty good indication of timing and so forth. And we would go, and we would find the nests that were about ready to pop, as it were, and it never happened to us. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'd stay in a nest till like late at night, like 9 or 10 or 11 at night, and the mosquitoes would come and drive us back inside, and we'd go home to bed. And then next morning we'd find out, we'd go to that spot the next morning, and the nest will have hatched during the night. And you know, all the authorities are there saying, you know, you can't come here, this nest is all done. So it was very, very frustrating for us. So I love the turtles, the loggerheads. I've always been looking to watch hatching take place, and I have never, ever seen one.
Jim and I wondered if the weather would let up enough and become safe for the pilots to fly the sea turtles into the Jekyll Island airport. These turtles were coming from the northeast, far north, and the bad weather could mean a rain date. Luckily, the rain did stop, and we began our interviews with members from the Georgia Sea Turtle Center.
Yeah, well, we actually have a great relationship with a program called Turtles Fly 2 that actually has pilots who volunteer their time, their planes, their fuel to help transport sick and injured sea turtles along the coast in the northern states down here for either release or further care. So they help transport these animals from facilities such as New England Aquarium, National Aquarium in Baltimore, South Carolina Aquarium, down to here, all the way down to Marathon, Florida at the Turtle Hospital.
Many of these turtles were being impacted directly by climate change. Warmer ocean temperatures has meant a much further migration, sometimes as far as the Canadian coast. When the water cools in winter, the turtles become cold-stunned, near death, and requiring help in their recovery. Our next interview was with Leslie Weinstein, president of Turtles Fly 2, the organization behind flying these turtles back home to warmer waters.
We're the ones that handle all the transports of these turtles, permits and everything else if they're out of foreign lands coming back into the U.S. So we've done this since 2014, and since that time period, we have transported right around 5,000 turtles of the Kemp's species, and they are the most endangered of them all.
It was before I knew about compassion flying and what all that entails, and I knew that these were critically ill turtles that were coming down here that we were needing to take to the facilities, and I thought I'd just be waiting in line behind all of the other aircraft that were waiting to depart at the airport we were at, but we actually got priority over everybody. So one of the flights that I did, we got to cut off the commercial airlines and everything. So I mean, there was probably about 6 planes that were in line that we got to cut in front of, and everybody's excited to hear it because we're like, we have critical turtles, can we get expedited, leaving? And then everybody's responding back through the radio like, oh cool, you have turtles, what are you doing? And you're not supposed to clutter up the radio, but I mean, this is something that gets everybody excited, and that was just a really memorable moment to see all of that.
And that stands out to me, is that it starts with us and it's a small group and it grows anywhere we are seen with the turtles. Mm-hmm. So if you go to the airport, the FBOs, everybody inside is coming out offering to help carry boxes. Mm-hmm. And it just brings a community together that, may have never spoken to each other before. And, the piloting community already is very diverse. And now you introduce sea turtles into it and people are just intrigued and they want to be a part of it. And then when you get to release them when they're healthy, it's just so much more fulfilling, and people are lining the beaches, and I've seen people crying as we're putting them back into the water. It just touches everybody.
Welcome home, boys.
Yep. Home sweet home. Look at this one, Dad.
Wow, look at that. Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're unloading from this plane directly across.
I am, just making sure.
Yep.
All right, just slide it on in there.
You want me to hold your turtle and take a shoot back?
Our caravan drove to the beach, and in small groups, the turtles were released to the sea by excited volunteers. Group by group, they were released. As I filmed the process, it was wonderful to see the joy on each person's face. They were helping these beautiful creatures return home, and you could tell it was a life-changing event. Even Jim got a chance to release one, and his face was glowing with the experience. By lunch, we were about finished. Someone yelled, "We've got 3 left. If anyone wants to take a turtle, it's time to speak up now." I immediately asked and was granted the opportunity to release a turtle. As I picked up the turtle from its box, the head and fins seemed to hang down almost lifeless. The turtle seemed to be in a daze, but as we walked closer and closer to the surf, the head lifted and the fins started swimming in air, paddling faster and faster with excitement as we got closer to the water. I feared that I may drop the turtle, but held on tight and made my way carefully, dodging jellyfish carcasses and negotiating with the splashing surf. I put the turtle down into the water and pushed it off into the next wave. Off it went. Onto the surface for a few seconds and then submerging and gone from our view. "Goodbye and good luck," I yelled. It felt good to help in some small way. Climate change had shown its impact to us directly. We are seeing just one part of the results: turtles swimming too far north due to warmer waters. Creatures like the Ridley Kemp turtle may go extinct, and if not resolved, it will affect us all.